When my Uncle Tom passed, I figured I'd get a box of his old drafting tools or maybe his beat-up Nikon. Instead, I inherited a scrappy half-acre of land in a sleepy California coastal town, squeezed between two residential streets like a ribbon of forgotten dirt. It was shaped like a long, narrow shoelace, barely noticeable on a map. But the moment I pulled up in my rented sedan to check it out, I knew this wasn't just some random plot. It was a damn war zone. The land was a parking lot. Not a proper one, mind you, but a chaotic mess of 9 cars jammed together like puzzle pieces. Some were parked diagonally, others nose to tail, as if they'd been Tetrised in by a toddler. A few looked like they'd been there for years, faded dashboards, trash littering the floors, one with a windshield patched together with duct tape. Smack in the middle, like it was guarding the place, sat a white pickup truck with a shiny HOA Patrol logo magnetized to the door. That's when I met Linda. I was still gawking at the scene when she marched over, a woman in a mint green tracksuit with sunglasses perched on her head like a crown. She didn't bother with a hello. "You the new owner?" she asked, arms crossed, her tone dripping with the kind of authority you'd expect from a mall cop on a power trip. "Yeah," I said, not taking my eyes off the mess. "This is my land." She let out a sharp laugh. "Oh, honey, this lot's been community parking forever. Nobody was using it. What's the big deal?" I turned to face her. "It's private property. I've got the deed to prove it." She waved me off like I was a fly buzzing too close. "Don't get all worked up. The HOA's been parking here for years. Keeps things tidy, helps the neighborhood." Behind her, a dog peed on my boundary post. I didn't argue. I was too stunned. Instead, I pulled out my phone and started snapping pictures of every car, every license plate, the fake community access zone sign screwed into a post like it was city property. Linda watched me, her lips pursed, like I was spitting on her grandmother's grave. Later, an old guy named Frank, leaning on his porch across the street, waved me over. "If you're really the owner, kid," he whispered, "watch your back. Linda runs this block like it's her kingdom. She doesn't like hearing no." I glanced back at the lot, my so-called inheritance. It felt less like a gift and more like a ticking bomb. But I wasn't about to walk away. The next day, I came back armed with laminated signs. Private property. No parking. Violators towed at owner's expense. I staked them every 20 feet, snapping photos for proof, knowing the California sun could bleach them blank in days. I'm a surveyor by trade. Whole life's been about drawing lines and pro-VYing who's crossed them. By nightfall, every sign was gone. 2 new cars had appeared, and that damn HOA truck was parked dead center, like it was daring me to try again. Then I saw it. A sticker on my SUV's license plate, black letters screaming land grabber. I ripped it off, my jaw tight. This wasn't just trespassing. It was a declaration of war. That evening, my phone pinged with a next-door post titled, "New Owner, Shutting Down Our Community Lot." Linda had written a novel, painting me as some city slicker trying to gentrify their sacred dirt patch. The comments were brutal people raging about outsider greed, or suggesting I needed a lesson in neighborhood unity. By morning, someone had dumped a ratty couch on my property line and left a soggy flyer in my mailbox. Say no to greed. Say no to invaders. Then came the kicker, an anonymous email with screenshots of a group chat called HOA Plans, Linda only. The messages were VY Sias. Bury him in red tape. Make the lot unusable. He'll sell cheap if we break him. 1. Clearly from Linda, read, he's not local. He'll crack when he sees nobody's on his side. I sat there, rereading those words, my blood boiling. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a calculated siege, wrapped in fake smiles and HOA letterhead. I replied with one word, "Noted." Then I got to work. I was done with signs that could be torn down or stickers I could peel off. I called in a contractor buddy and built a fortress, an 8-foot metal fence with concrete footings, a padlocked gate, and a sign bolted to the center in bold legal print. Private lot. Entry fee due lot 350/day. Unauthorized parking accepts terms. Cameras in use. I meant every word. That night, I parked my truck just outside the fence and watched. 3 cars rolled up. 2 drivers tugged at the gate, One honked like it had magically opened, and the third just swore and sped off. My motion-activated cameras caught it all, beaming footage to my phone. By morning, I had license plates, timestamps, and addresses. I hand-delivered 7 envelopes, each with a due la $3,500 invoice for 10 days of trespassing. Pay up or see me in court. The neighborhood exploded. Linda, in full HOA regalia, stood outside my gate with a megaphone, a megaphone screaming that I was extorting our community. Neighbors set up lawn chairs, munching popcorn like it was a street circus. Then the city got involved, thanks to a complaint about my unlicensed commercial lot. I met the inspector with coffee and a binder, deeds, zoning codes, and a crystal-clear explanation of my rights. He left laughing, shaking my hand. But Linda wasn't done. She slapped a Comic Sans sign over mine, Community Beautification Zone. Do not disturb. Then came 3 massive concrete planters, stuffed with wilting succulents, blocking my gate. She stood there, smirking like she just checkmated me. The city called it a civil dispute and stayed out. I left the planters, biding my time, knowing she'd overplay her hand. She did. Vault one morning, I woke to the roar of engines. My gate was gone sliced clean off, bolt cutters left like a taunt. The fence was slashed, and 14 cars were crammed onto my lot, triple parked, dirt churned to mud. A glossy sign, nailed to my own post, read, Community Parking Zone. HOA authorized. Do not remove. Linda stood at the far end, chatting with a couple unloading groceries, acting like she'd already won. I stormed over, ready to lose it, but she cut me off with a chirpy, "Good morning, Mr. Carter," like the improvements. She handed me a notarized document, claiming my uncle had granted the HOA parking rights in 2004. It looked legit until I saw the signature. My uncle's handwriting was sharp, precise. This was a sloppy forgery. I knew it, and I had proof. Another anonymous email arrived, this time with the real county records. No easement, no agreement. And the clincher, my uncle didn't even own the land in 2004. He bought it in 2006. "You're going to regret this," I said, my voice low. Linda smirked. "What jury will believe you over a whole neighborhood?" That was her mistake. I called my lawyer, Emma, and filed 3 lawsuits. One against Linda for trespass, vandalism, and fraud. One against the HOA for enabling her, and one against every driver who'd ignore my signs. I wasn't bluffing anymore. A week later, I met Henry, an HOA insider who'd turned on Linda. Over coffee, he slid me a flash drive packed with gold. Internal memos, chat logs, even a Photoshop file for the fake easement. "She's been running this place like a dictator," he said. "Breaking into your land, faking documents, that's too far." The courtroom felt like a gladiator arena. Linda sat with her fancy lawyers, pearls gleaming like she was at a charity brunch. My lawyer, Emma, was a shark in a blazer, tearing Melalui EVY Denke like tissue paper. My deed, photos of my signs, security footage of Linda directing the gate's destruction, and the forged easement, debunked by county records and Photoshop metadata. Henry took the stand, spilling everything Linda's plan to break me, her orders to block my gate, her dream of flipping my land for profit. The jury didn't blink. After 4 hours, the verdict hit. Linda, guilty of fraud, trespass, and vandalism. The HOA, negligent. 7 residents, liable for damages. Total award, Dula $80,000. Linda left the courtroom, pearls dull, her face blank. I walked to my lot, feeling 10 pounds lighter. The fence went back up, taller, with motion lights and a gate that hummed like a bank vault. The lot became my empire. Clean gravel, numbered spots, a sign-in kiosk. Neighbors who'd cursed me now paid Dula $250 a month to park. A local diner leased 3 spots. Food trucks rolled in on Thursdays, drawing crowds. String lights twinkled overhead, and a mural on the south wall jagged survey lines cutting through suburban chaos stole my story in paint. Linda vanished, her HOA throne toppled. A new board, led by a quiet librarian named Clara, brought banana bread and peace. Henry, my informant, sat with me one day, staring at the lot. "We thought this was just weeds," he said. I grinned. So did I. A wooden sign at the entrance read, "This land didn't belong to everyone." Now it worked for someone. Months later, a black SUV idled by the lot. Linda stepped out, no pearls, just jeans and a tired look. "Heard you're a magazine," she said. "Modern property law was running a feature on my win." "Guess so," I replied. She paused. "Will people forget what I did?" I sipped my coffee. "They won't forget, but they might forgive if you stop acting like you were right." She nodded, almost smiled, then drove off. That night, we held a cookout on the lot, kids drawing chalk art, Clara flipping burgers, the taco truck handing out free churros. My steel sign loomed above, "Private property. Trespassers invoiced. Repeat offenders get a PowerPoint slide at the HOA meeting." Everyone laughed. The war was over. So what do you think? Was I too harsh, turning their community lot into my cash cow? Should I have tried harder to play nice with Linda? Or was her power trip begging for a takedown? And that magazine feature hero story, or just petty revenge gone VYRL? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe to hear more battles where the little guy fights back. What would Sayu Sa have done?